Well, it's just gone 9 o'clock Central African time. This is BTV News. We're broadcasting live from the nation's capital, Gaborone. I'm Ulibile Samoka. Let's take a look at stories making headlines. Lowering the Chopis Botswana employees to get their first 4,000 pula salary starting tomorrow. Residents of Hatsalatladi plead with government to be relocated due to ground fissures in their village.
And in sports, DBS group appoints Lizzie Tlokweng global ambassador on 1-year deal.
And there is Ntebogang Sebetlela joining us later on a sport desk. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Now, Chopis Botswana employees in the lower ranks will from Sunday, the 26th January, get their first 4,000 pula salary. This follows the company's pledge to fulfill the new government's plan to officially implement the amount as the baseline for employees in the private and public sectors. When launching the initiative, President Advocate Maboko noted that increasing the living wage is the right path to take based on solid economic findings in order to improve production and staff retention. The president congratulated Chopis Group and its employees, saying he hopes the private sector will emulate it to improve livelihoods. Peter Bazalelo.
A report from the Findings and Research suggests that fair and equitable wages have a positive bearing on the productive level and boosting of the morale of the employees. Since assuming office last year, the newly elected government of the Umbrella for Democratic Change, amongst some of its promises ahead of the election, committed to increasing the minimum wage of 1,500 to 4,000 pula. Just a few weeks to the countdown of the 100 days in office, President Advocate Maboko is happy to make a tick of one of the promises. However, government is yet to sign this into law with the public service and the larger private sector of the anticipated implementation of the promise.
There are certain processes and protocols that must be followed and followed meticulously, followed to the letter. We can't wake up, you and I, today and take the decision and implement it in the same way that a private company can. We are constrained. We have to go to Parliament because we are sanctioning an expenditure from the consolidated fund. We can't do that as the executive. It has to go to Parliament and receive the imprimatur of authority from that body.
Chopis Group is one of the first to respond to President Boko's call to equitable wages.
Chopis, we are committed to ensuring that all our employees receive fair and equitable compensation. We started discussing and debating and moving towards providing a living wage to our employees long back. We had this initiative through our various forums we discussed, and we came closer to announcing it in 2024. Due to many political and other social reasons, we couldn't declare it, and but we were closely pushing for the 3,000 living wage in 2024. So when our president declared the living wage of 4,000, we were just more than happy to move across and commit on an important initiative like this.
The implementation and rollout of the new pay will follow the company's remuneration policy, which will cover employees who completed 1 year in service and below.
We do have policies in place. Chopis has a remuneration policy. And what is key and central to this policy is our strategy to retain employees, our retention strategy. So the policy speaks to the length of service whenever we consider salary hikes or increases. So having said that, Your Excellency, all employees who completed 12 months of service, 1 year of continuous service as at the 1st of January 2025, all employees that have completed 1 year and are below 4,000 pula will receive a salary increase, bringing the total cost to company to 4,000 pula and above.
The launch of Chopi's new hiked pay of the 4,000 pula minimum wage comes just a day after President Boko arrives from the just-ended World Economic Forum held at Davos in Switzerland. The forum afforded heads of state in attendance an opportunity to lure investors to their countries with the view of improving the lives of their citizens. Peter Hatsalatladi, PTV News, Gaborone.
Meanwhile, President Advocate Maboko has called out the media for its tendency to perpetuate fake news. The comments follows the Weekend Post article titled PSP Police Boss Resign.
Let me acknowledge the Permanent Secretary to the President, and I was reading this morning that they said I'd fired her, or I was about to. And I read also that they said I was about to or have fired the Commissioner of Police. Interesting how newspapers reason and write. There's absolutely no truth in any of those allegations. At best, they seem like suggestions. Do this. And when they want you to do something, they present it as if it's something you're thinking about. So they exert some pressure. I'm impervious to such pressures. I apply my mind dispassionately, intensely, and thoroughly to issues. I don't do politically correct chit-chat. And I don't hinge change on crisis. That's how society must function. So that change is not dependent on crisis. So don't attempt to precipitate a non-existent crisis in an effort to bring about the change that you think should be brought. Offer it as your suggestion, and let it be considered alongside other suggestions and propositions. And so to the press, I realize you write a lot of stuff. 90% of what you write is actually far from the truth. Some portion of it is actually malicious. But those are the vagaries of a democratic dispensation. That's why in the United States they value and protect freedom of speech. We value and protect it here as well. Sometimes it's unanchored speculations, petty gossip peddled as fact.
The Minister for State President, Mr. Moeti Mohasa, says the government wants to repeal the current Media Practitioner Act as it is viewed as counter-democratic and gives the media the opportunity to draft a new bill and present it to Parliament. He said in a true democracy, the media should be given the chance to self-regulate. Mr. Mohasa said this while addressing various media associations.
Mr. Mohasa appealed to the media to submit the Media Practitioners Bill draft by February 28. He said the government does not intend to edit the draft but trusts that the media will place at the forefront journalism ethics such as fairness, integrity, and public trust.
So, le re batla go le kopa lona le le babega dikgang gore tsamaya le go taka draft. And re dumalane gore we should have a draft. How soon? Parliament, and that reinforces your right to self-regulate, and also protects the interests of BOTSWANA, because we believe.
Please go and draft a Media Practitioners Bill that will protect and promote your independence as a journalist. A bill that will also protect citizens. I don't think you appreciate being sued all the time.
We'll have to have a credible body, probably law society to facilitate the whole process.
Media associations stated that democracy thrives when the media is free.
Ke kgang e leng gore ga ra bo le go tswa le yone go kgakala gore go nne le yone self-regulation. And ke tsa gore go supa gore yana gompieno go na le tswelelo pele, go na le temo e leng gore re batla gore re sege. And re le ba Media Institute of Southern Africa.
As Misa Botswana, we appreciate the opportunity to self-regulate. As you mentioned, often the media is at loggerheads with the public because of lack of professionalism on our part.
Le gore ntse re di tshwere le ka gore go nne le professionalism e go godimo mo bobegakgang ja rona.
We do believe that self-regulation is very, very important, but we are having a debate. If we have that body also as well, how much powers is it going to have to be able to hold those two who are breaking the code of ethics and the set of principles that we are about to account? On that note, you find that there are those who are divided in a sense. Just like law society, let's have a statutory body where before people go to court, they can come for mediation.
Mr. Mohasa said the government aims to preserve the freedom and independence of the media. Ke o lebogile Radipotsane, BTV News, Gaborone.
From Tlokweng, it's reported that residents of Hatsalatladi are pleading with the government to relocate them as they believe that they are in danger due to the development of ground fissures in their village. In the long-awaited report, the Botswana Geoscience Institute attributed the combination of heavy rainfall, groundwater dynamics and geological faults as the cause of fissures. Thank you, Senso reports.
It has been highlighted that the development of the fissures is not new in this country, and it is attributed to Botswana being prone to natural disasters. An expert from Botswana Geoscience Institute, Mr. Puso Akanyang, says that the research managed to help them identify high-risk and low-risk areas. It is evident that the development of fissures in Hatsalatladi, and we managed to identify areas where they form and where they don't. We have also determined the cause. We determined that heavy rainfalls in geological structures result in these fissures. We expected the report to have recommendations, but that is not the case. We would like to apologize for not delivering. I want to highlight that major decisions require more time to plan, especially when it comes to making permanent decisions. Residents reiterated their request for the situation to be taken seriously as they long waited for the report, which its investigations began in 2022. This situation should be investigated intensively because the decisions that we make affect generations after us, which is why we need to be careful so that we avoid making bad decisions. What is important today is that we came with a report from the experts, which will help us to move forward. This is a call to you to begin your talks and not wait for the 7th.
Recommendation alona le bo maitsana. Mo mmaleng o borai, le mo mmaleng o borai nyana, le mo mareng o seng borai. Mo ngame o recommendela ba golo ring.
Se botoka sa gampieno go gore re tla rena le report ya batlhali.
People have no means to build strong structures. We cannot even afford to buy material in Molopolole, so I'm urging the geologists to be specific with their recommendations.
le nyena le le motse le ka simolla la phuta la ipuisana.
This situation is said to not only be the responsibility of the residents, but that of the government. Therefore, leaders of various departments and ministries set an appointment on the 7th of February to be the day where they come up with a way forward. Thank you, Senso. BTV News, Hatsalatladi.
The developments for our villages are not color-coded with political parties. We must respect wishes of our people and prioritize their best interests because they voted us into leadership positions as members of parliament and councillors. This statement formed the core of the discussions at the inaugural Constituency Leadership Forum convened by the Member of Parliament, also the Minister of Higher Education, Mr. Prince Maele, when laying out the 5-year roadmap of stimulating development in the Tlokweng North constituency in Licheng on Tuesday. Karabomulusi with the details.
The meeting, which comprised of leaders from the 21 villages in the Tlokweng North constituency, fostered social coherence, coordinated leadership approach and foresight at the beginning of the year, also laying a foundation of a 5-year journey. We will reflect on this meeting at the end of the year as a yardstick to measure our progress on the goals that we had set to achieve human development. The Member of Parliament emphasized the importance of respect, consultation, Dikosi refraining from active politics, the need for the councillors to support each other in seeking developments of the constituency during council sessions, and consistent communication. I'm going to respect all the councillors regardless of our political affiliation, because if I don't respect them, it will mean that I don't respect you, the voters, who put me in this leadership position. Developing our villages should not be biased due to political party colors. My appeal to you is that let's eliminate politics in village development issues. We need collective efforts to develop our villages. The discussions incorporated issues of protocol, the role of community structures, and how they coexist to stimulate developments in the villages. The VDC is the key player that stirs development in the villages. All issues affecting the community must be reported by the VDC.
VDC, madi a ya tshwereng ke a morafe. Ga sa komite ya batho ba le 10. Ke madi a morafe a leng gore ebile ka
The VDC manages the funds of the community, not for a 10-member committee. As the department, we do not allow cash in hand. We want traceable records of the money used by the VDC.
Petty cash. Madi mangwe le mangwe a irisiwang ke VDC a tsena la tswang a nna le motlhala.
The anticipated outcome of this initiative is that the constituency leadership will work as a team on NDP 12 projects and steer equitable distribution of development. Karabomulusi, BTV News, Licheng.
With the new government's focus on building the economy of this country, the Minister of Local Government and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Getalefile Motshekga, has emphasized on the need for the councils to be independent. While addressing the Francistown City Council on Friday, Mr. Motshekga stated that decentralization aims to transform and constitutionalize local government. Kidibonye Lekalaki.
The minister stated that the Ministry of Local Government and Traditional Affairs has a role to play in the development of this country, and it is important that they have the responsibility and independence to ease this procedure. He further emphasized that the success of every organization is on the leadership, therefore, leaders must pave a path.
As we seek as the ministry to try and help councils to operate at the level of being exponential, resilient and agile councils that are able to deliver quality public services to the people. We also address the issue of leadership because as the ministry, noting a new dispensation and trajectory that ought to be set, we find it important to dialogue together with councils or what should be our organizational culture going forward. And therefore leadership is important because culture starts with leadership, and the leadership must set the path.
Decentralization aims at transforming the local government, which is why the ministry is on the process of identifying the beneficiaries of the old age pension and reformation of the Ipelegem program. Minister Motshekwa said they intend to complete the preparatory stage around March this year.
The Ministry of Local Government, based on the promises by the government and the State of the Nation of Address by the President, the Ministry of Local Government is charged with the issue of old age pension and transformation of Ipelege. The update, with regard to the old age pension, we are engaged with relevant stakeholders, among others the Ministry of Labor, for collection of necessary data, because the approach the old age pension beneficiaries, the age will start at 60 years.
Councillors have applauded the minister for considering decentralization, as they believe that can revive the reputation of this ministry. Gedi Bonyele Kalake, BTV News, Francis Town.
Yeah, watching BTV News. Thank you for staying with us. Now, moving on. The Northwest District Council has expressed concern over the continued sexual abuse of children in the district. The council chairman, Mr. Idumeleng Kilebetsing, told the council meeting in Maung that the council has received increasing numbers of cases of gender-based violence involving mostly children. Maranyane Samakata.
As the country continues to face escalating cases of gender-based violence against women and children, the Northwest District Council reports that children in this region have not been spared, as the council is challenged with increasing cases of sexual abuse of children. The council is therefore calling for immediate action from residents.
As at December 2024, the office was handling a total of 344 cases, of which 310 were registered under child abuse category. I'm therefore appealing to Northwest District community to come up and support the district village child protection committees in combating and uprooting the undesirable attitude and moral decay that has infected our society. Abuse
Unemployment is said to be a major catalyst among many other factors.
We know, of course, what are the causes of GBV.
We know the cause of gender-based violence. We are aware that women are faced with high unemployment, which forces them to stay in abusive relationships. I think for this reason, the government should accelerate its plans to create jobs, especially for women. It will make it easier for them to detach from abusive relationships.
Employment opportunities.
The District Gender Committee continues to sensitize residents on consequences of domestic violence and some preventative measures. Maranyane Samagata, BTV News, Maung.
Tlokweng border continues to experience severe traffic congestion following the closure of Martin's Drift border post, which was affected by the overflowing Limpopo River. According to Tlokweng border post acting customs manager, Mr. Bilson Mereki, there are many reasons causing this traffic congestion, and one of them being pre-login declaration at the border post.
Mrs. Musser lekang go ba se rotwetsa gore se leke go hehosa go tsena le go tswa ga dithoto ke gone gore ba dire se go teng pre-lodgement of the declaration gore ire ha teraka e hetsa go laisa bo ba ka tsenya kgotsa ba dira declaration mo maranyaneng go supa gore ba ta ba laisitseng gore ha teraka ya go goroga mo mololwaneng rona re le Botswana Unified Revenue Service re bo re setse re processitse morwalong ha gona le tse re batang go di checka mo teng kana tse re batang go di tlhola mo teng re bo re thodile ile re setse re ikgotswahaditse seo se bo se ra gore ha nako e teraka e tabong e goroga mo mololwaneng rona re tabo re dirile tiro ya rona yotlhe yaanong se se tabong se setse ke gore re he go seteraka eo gore e hite.
Now, in international news, according to analysts, Africa is likely not part of the list of American President Donald Trump's agenda. Analysts also predict even more strained relations between the United States and South Africa over involvement with the BRICS organization and its court case against Israel on acts of genocide in Gaza.
U.S. President Donald Trump has made it very clear during his campaign that under his term, he will put America first. Former U.S. diplomat Brooks Spector has highlighted that he does not see Africa as a priority under the Trump administration.
As far as Africa is concerned, let's be honest and let's be fair about it. Africa is very far down the totem pole of the places and issues that the Trump administration is going to pay attention to.
Despite that, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa said he is positive on relations with Donald Trump.
President Trump is a great deal maker, and so am I. So we will be able to work together.
Some analysts say South Africa's relations with Trump could be strained due to various factors which go against U.S. policies.
Now we get the Trump-Vance administration, which is starting very clearly on the foreign policy of America first. So it will mean that if South Africa is pursuing quote-unquote BRICS first policy, it will run counter to this foreign policy and it will be in trouble.
Yeah, I think that this sort of the length of the tether that the US will have is shorter. It's going to be less tolerant of countries that, for example, are major recipients of US aid, but vote against the US at the United Nations. Or alternatively, it could push these countries out of the US sphere and into embracing alternatives.
The new Secretary of State in the US, Marco Rubio, had previously called out South Africa for its actions over alignment with China. Analysts predict some aid and benefits to South Africa, like the US aid, are likely to be decreased or withdrawn. Laonele Gwale, BTV News.
Well, it is time for our sport news. On standby.
Thank you very much. We'll be Samoka now. Botswana Tonight Sports News follows with me, Ntabuhan Sebetlelam. Mochuri Center Chiefs and Extension Gunners played to a goalless draw in the FNB Premier League second round fixture played at Lobate Sport Complex. The draw drops Mahosi to the 6th position on the log standings, while Gunners will remain on the 13th spot. Let's take a look at the highlights.
The Spanish guitar. Araboneti Ramolo Romana Kweli. Abatomodi Kotenga Basireletsa Kabelo Kuti. Perebonelia. Tosama Totten Tapelenti. Ata Horhamodi Makwele Hasilimi. Abaromana Kweli Kanakoti. Katola Moison Tamizulu. Then Kennedy. Otohete Patako Maraho. Arabone Sitang. Obita Puti. Ogadiran Puti. Abasala Mogo Cheve. Wadiran Cheve. Ata Tola Felicity Lecon Calosajolo Chevese. Barweta Jansa Pass Extension Ganas. Baromela Kweli. Aretokanalino. Baya Kopela Vata Patrick Kaunda. Bona Patrick Kaunda! If it didn't go to
it was a game today where we played more through the emotions, you could say. We were sloppy, we were too slow, you know, our aggression wasn't there. I don't know, maybe the restart, the postponement of the start as well maybe played a part, but we played at the same intensity from the first line to the last line, so that's why we couldn't really cause much of problems. But
we need to work much on our attack. I think we are not reaching the last third quite well, so we need to go back and work on our finishing. So the way in which we are taking center chiefs, we were too slow. Our build-up was too slow, so we need to at least have aggression and have speed so that we enter the last third.
The newly appointed head coach of Botswana's senior men's national team, the Zebras, Morena Ramorebudi, departed the country yesterday for Morocco, where the final draw of the 2025 AFCON will be held on Monday. The tournament is scheduled to take place from December this year until January next year. Rufulelo Koro and William Sionka have the report.
Coach Ramorebudi expressed delight that the draw taking place this early ahead of the tournament will give his team enough time to prepare. He further said they are ready to face any opponents they may be drawn against for the group stages.
The draw is like lottery. You pick certain numbers, but the machine can decide to take out other numbers, and you'll have to accept the results. So I think really we don't need to put ourselves under unnecessary stress to say who do we want to play against, who do we want in our group. Anybody that we are to face, I think we are ready, because after all, the draw is about top 24 countries in the continent, and we are amongst those 24 countries in the continent. So if we'll be standing here and say we wish to play so and so, that will not be fair to us, and I think we'll just be stressing ourselves, because after all, a draw is a draw, and you need to be ready for whoever that you are to face. So for us, I think it's the most important thing is to go there, see who will be playing against, and start now to prepare for whoever we are going to play against.
The coach has urged the nation to rally behind the team and give it their full support to ease his work.
I was appointed as an interim coach, and I got the best support from the whole country, and I think the reason why we did so well was because the players were willing to go out there and fight for the country, and the public at large were willing to support us. I just want to ask every citizen to keep on believing and have faith in us, because we are trying to build a very competitive team. And for us to build a competitive team, we need people who can believe in us, and we'll do our best to make sure that we get things right. And we promise them the best. We're going to fight with everything we have to make sure that we represent the country well in every situation.
The draw will be held at host nation Morocco, capital city of Rabat, on the 27th this month. Meanwhile, the Zebras are in Port 4 with Mozambique, Comoros, Tanzania, Sudan, and neighbors Zimbabwe. Refilwe Lekore, BTV Sport, Cesar Zakhama International Airport, Gaborone.
And our local sprinter sensation and 200-meter Olympic gold medalist Letsile Tebogo has been appointed as the DBS Group's global ambassador on a one-year contract. Victoria Dakin has the full story.
Speaking at a press briefing in Gaborone, the Vice President of DBS Corporate Affairs, Otsile Mabeo, noted that they have partnered with Letsile Tebogo with the aim of bringing forth a narrative that goes beyond the world of athletics. She further said the partnership also marks the start of their journey with him by celebrating his amazing athletics capabilities and his achievements, especially from the past year.
But today marks more than just the unveiling of the global ambassadorship role. It signifies the shared values between Letsile and De Beers Group. Letzile's remarkable ascension to the global stage has captured the hearts of many people around the world, not only because of his extraordinary talent, but also because of his unwavering commitment, hard work, and spirit of perseverance and determination, qualities that definitely fit in with the legacy of De Beers.
Letsile last year got us all onto the world stage with great excitement and really put Botswana, I think, on the map for many. Let's be honest about it. And it's with that story that we've seen the story of natural diamonds. And it's really important that when we talk natural diamonds, we're not just talking about the beautiful, shiny ones that come out, but we're talking about the natural diamonds of people and how people have come out of Botswana and really making their mark on the world. But we need to tell this story.
For his part, Letsile Tebogo said he looks forward for a fruitful partnership and hopes for more to come from this partnership.
We'll go far together, we will help each other in life and help other athletes, show them that if you just believe and put in the work for yourself.
Meanwhile, two youths, namely Kefas Utumile and Kumo Makwa, created pieces of jewelry made with local diamonds. The duo worked with DBS Group through their Shining Light program, which runs across 4 producer countries to support development of talent in jewelry design and manufacturing.
Kaifas's pieces seek to reflect Litzile's journey of transformation, perseverance, and extraordinary achievement, while Kumo's jewelry pieces reflect the inspiration and encouragement he received from his mother, who played a central role in his ascension to the world athletic stage. The piece also that's made by Kumo captures his relationship with his sister, representing strong family ties, and I think again demonstrating the importance of collaboration and support in achieving the extraordinary.
The partnership is expected to also give DBS Group an opportunity to tell Botswana's unique story of development through the Foundation of Natural Diamonds. Victoria Dakin, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Now, and lastly, the Minister of Sports and Arts, Jacob Gilibeng, has assured the young people of Botswana that his ministry is fully committed to the fight against gender-based violence in sports and arts as a way of fostering a safer and more inclusive environment for all. Minister Gilibeng was speaking at the Youth Forum held in Gaborone. Tlokweng with the details.
The minister highlighted his ministry's dedication to ensuring the inclusive and recognition of women in sports, emphasizing that creating opportunities for women to fulfill their sporting dreams is the ministry's top priority.
We are aware of your challenges, Lele Banana.
We know your concerns as youth. We are committed to doing everything possible to eliminate gender-based violence in sports and the arts, so that women can also have the platform to showcase their talent. Our wish is to realize the potential of youth, especially those in sports. The minister also announced the plans to refurbish and build new sporting infrastructure across the country in order to demonstrate the seriousness with which they view sports.
Very soon,
as we speak, my ministry has already created a schedule. I'll be touring the whole country to assess and appreciate what we have, as well as the status of our facilities. Budget have already been allocated to refurbish sports facilities, including those in Molepolole, Masunga, and other areas. We are going to build more facilities, and these are things we take seriously. Minister Gilibeng expressed their intention to collaborate with the media to enhance their capacity in promoting and growing sport.
Young journalist, you appreciate what we are doing to integrate journalists more.
We are on a mission to empower and engage journalists, integrating them into our ministry and seeking their suggestions to ensure the promotion and growth of sports. The Youth Pitso-led Forum serves as a platform for departments to engage with the youth in exchanging ideas and addressing their challenges. Tlokweng, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Tlokweng bring us to the end of our sports update this evening. Thank you for staying with us, and back to Libile Samoka to remind us of our top leading stories.
Lowering Showbiz Botswana employees to get their first 4,000 Pula salaries starting tomorrow. Residents of Hatsalatladi plead with government to be relocated due to ground fissures in their village.
And in sports, the DBS Group appoints Litsile Tebogo as global ambassador on 1-year deal.
And that is all the news we have for you this Saturday. Do stay with us. Weather is up next.
Good evening and welcome to today's weather forecast brought to you by Mpho Ishwadar. This morning at 8 a.m. we recorded 4 millimeters at Mahalape Metrocast Station and 1 millimeter at Khanzi Metrocast Station. Now looking into the current satellite picture, clouds are visible over most parts of the country, and this evening isolated thunder showers are still expected over Khanzi, Ngamiland and northern central districts. For tomorrow, partly cloudy conditions are expected over the entire country with isolated thunder showers over Kalahari, Khanzi, Ngamiland and northern central districts. Also, fresh to strong winds are expected over much of Kalahari. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precautions. Warm temperatures are expected in the morning over Chobe, northern central and northeast districts, ranging between 16 degrees Celsius over Pandamatenga to 19 degrees Celsius over Letlhakane, Suapen and Maiteng. And over the remaining districts, hot temperatures are expected in the morning, ranging between 20 degrees Celsius over much of Ngamiland into southern southeast Gauteng and Kwenin district to 23 degrees Celsius over Tshwane. And in the afternoon, warm temperatures are still expected over Chobe, the whole of central and northeast districts, ranging between 28 degrees Celsius over Francistown to 32 degrees Celsius over Mahalape and Prajan. And over Ngamiland, Khanzi into southern southeast Gauteng and Kwenin districts, hot temperatures are expected in the afternoon, ranging between 33 degrees Celsius over much of southern southeast Gauteng and Kwenin district to 35 degrees Celsius over Ngojan. And over Kalahari, very hot temperatures are still expected to be persistent, ranging between 36 degrees Celsius over Veda to 38 degrees Celsius over much of Kalahari. Therefore, the public is advised to take necessary precautions. Now, looking into SADC cities for tomorrow, few patches of clouds are expected over Cape Town and Upington with a maximum temperature of 43 degrees Celsius over Upington. Over Tlokweng, partly cloudy conditions are expected with possibility of showers. Over Johannesburg and Maseru, clear skies are expected with a maximum temperature of 30 degrees Celsius over Maseru. While over Manzini, few patches of clouds are expected with a maximum temperature of 28 degrees Celsius. Over Antananarivo, partly cloudy conditions are expected with possibility of thunder showers with a maximum temperature of 26 degrees Celsius. While over Beira, partly cloudy conditions are expected with possibility of showers. Over Harare and Lusaka, partly cloudy conditions are expected with possibility of thunder showers with a maximum temperature of 24 degrees Celsius over Harare, while over Windhoek, few patches of clouds are expected with a maximum temperature of 35 degrees Celsius. Still on SADC cities, possibility of thunder showers are expected over Kinshasa with a maximum temperature of 29 degrees Celsius, while over Luanda, Blantyre and Dar es Salaam, partly cloudy conditions are expected with the possibility of showers with a maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius over Dar es Salaam and 23 degrees Celsius over Blantyre. Well, that's all I had for you tonight. Have yourself a good night.